Hey guys, welcome to Vlogmas day. This will be Vlogmas day 9 for you guys. So as you can tell by the title, I did not have any footage for this vlog. It was a very long day. I had work and then I had to come home because I had an exam at 4 o'clock and then I had to write a final exam essay that was due that night too. So I had no footage for you guys. But I wanted to come on here and kind of talk about my transfer experience and like kind of reflect on this past semester. So I have a few things written down in my journal, so I'm going to be looking at that. Yeah, so let's just get into the video. Okay, so for a little backstory for those of you who do not know, I go to Old Dominion University in Norfolk, Virginia, and I'm a sophomore. So for my freshman year, I went to Grand Canyon University in Phoenix, Arizona, and I did not like it. I made a whole video about why I am transferring from GCU or whatever the video is titled, so I will put that in the cards on whatever side that is on. But yes, I did a whole video about that, so please do not ask me why I transferred because I made a whole video about it and I am no longer going to be talking about GCU. I have left there. I have no ties to that school anymore, so there is no point in me talking about it. I'm not going to bash it or anything like that. I'm just really tired of people asking me questions about it because that video will answer all of your questions if you just go and watch it. So yes, I did transfer and now I go to Norfolk, or now I go to ODU, and I do live at home with my parents and I do commute. It's about a 15 to 20 minute drive and it's actually not bad at all. But yeah, so that's a little backstory. More about my transfer experience. At the beginning of the semester, I went into ODU being a nursing major, which quickly changed because ODU has a lot more requirements for nursing majors, a lot more prereqs than GCU did. And I was just not feeling it anymore. Like, I don't know if I've mentioned this before, but at GCU I was in anatomy and physiology, but I dropped it because I got like a 50 on my first exam and it was just a no-go. So I dropped that and I had changed my major and a whole blah 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 story. Anyways, I wanted to try nursing again and I had to take chemistry, and there's just so many more classes and I felt like I was gonna be in college for 25 years. And I didn't want to do that anymore. So I changed my major. So I mentioned this in one of my college week in my lives, but I changed my major and now I am a history major with a concentration in teaching preparation. So I am planning on being a high school history teacher, hopefully a US history high school teacher. And then eventually one day,
here's high school teacher. Teacher Christopher Jonah begins a torrid affair with a member in Dartmoor of an insurgent group.
I didn't even say anything about Siri. Anyways, so eventually I plan on getting my PhD and being a professor and teaching at a university, but that is farther down the line because I do not like school. So we will see if that even happens. But yeah, so I did change my major like at the beginning of September. So a couple of things that was not normal for me coming from GCU was that everything at GCU, since it is a private university, was billed, like was part of your tuition, like was part of your bill. So you did not have to go out and buy anything else. Like everything was included. So I did not have to go out and spend my own money and buy a textbook or rent a textbook or anything like that. So we had ebooks, and I'm pretty sure you could have went to the library and got a hard copy book if that's what you wanted, but we had ebooks there, so I never had to buy a textbook or anything. So coming to a public university, I have to buy my own textbook if the professor decides that this course needs a textbook. So that was something new for me because I never had to buy a textbook before and I didn't really know if I should buy it, if I should rent it, if I should do this or do that. So that was difficult for me. Luckily, I only had to rent one textbook and I had to buy one textbook because it was not available to rent. But I rented my art textbook, which I never even opened that textbook really. I've opened it a few times to look up definitions, but really I never used it. So luckily I rented that one for I think $15 or something, so that's not bad. But for my history course, I had to buy a textbook. It was not available to rent anywhere that I looked, and I was running out of time because when I decided to change my major, I was thrown into that class like, and school had already started, so I was already behind. So I did not have time to wait for a textbook to appear and stuff like that. So I just bought a textbook. It was like $70. I'm probably gonna keep it actually, because I mean it'll be handy down the road when I'm a teacher, or I will probably sell it. I'm not sure yet. But yes, I had to buy that textbook, and I regret buying it because I've never opened it. I've never used it. I've never needed it because my professor posted all of our PowerPoints on Blackboard. So there was no point in me needing the textbook. So there's that. And another thing that I had to get used to was having to buy Scantrons, or at OD they call them blue books. I don't know what it is in other places, but at GCU, the professor gave out Scantrons, or we wrote on a piece of paper. But here, you have to go to the bookstore and buy Scantrons or blue books. So that was something new for me because I never had to do that before. And it was kind of frustrating because I've already spent so much money going to this school. Why do I have to go and buy a blue book just for me to take my exam? So those are like 50 to like 90 cents. So it's not too bad. But once again, another thing that I had to get used to. But other than that, those are really the only eye-opening things that have been different from GCU. Obviously, there is a lot more since it is a private versus a public university. But honestly, I'm so happy at ODU. I feel so much more at home, and I don't really feel like I stand out. I really feel like I belong here. Even though I'm not like involved in any way at this university, I still feel like comfortable. Like I feel fine walking into the classroom and going to my seat. I feel fine walking through the buildings, going through the halls, you know, sitting in the halls, doing work, doing this, and it's just like, it's perfectly fine for me. So I'm just really glad that I made the decision to transfer. I know it was such a hard decision for me to make, but one, I am saving so much money being at ODU and having to to pay in-state tuition. So that is like such an amazing thing, because going to GCU, I'm pretty sure I've said this before, but I had to take out a loan because they do not have in-state or out-of-state since it's a private university. I took out a loan for $30,000 to go for 1 year because I did not get any scholarships to go to GCU, and I had like this much FAFSA because my mom makes too much money. So I barely got any of that. So I had to take out a lot of money just to go to GCU for 1 year, but I don't regret it because it was a learning lesson. It was a lesson, whatever. But yeah, lots of money that I have to pay back one day, sadly. But anyways, let's get back to how this semester went. This semester went really well, actually. It was probably one of the easiest semesters I've had, I would say. Actually, my first semester of college was very, very easy. It was just a lot of adjusting, really, but this semester was pretty easy. The classes that I took were Introduction to Visual Arts. I will put it on the screen because I'm gonna blank. Introduction to Visual Arts, American Writers, American Experience. I had to take biology because I had to take biology, but which is really cool, tangent right now, is that I took biology online and I took the lab with it online, which I never knew was even possible. It was really cool. It was like a simulator type thing. It was really, really cool. So I took that online this semester, and then I also took Interpreting the American Past. I also took that online. That is a history course. And those are all the classes that I took. So I only took 4 classes because, like I said, I was a nursing major. So I did have to drop the classes that I was taking because I did not need them anymore. So I did drop those classes and I picked up other classes. And what made me really happy when I switched my major is that I did not have to take math anymore, because my credit from GCU fulfilled the credit that is needed for the history major. So that made me really, really happy because I'm not good at math and I hate math so much. So that was really good. But those are the classes that I took. Only a few of my grades are finalized, but my grades were really good this semester, so I'm pretty proud of that. Well, I think that is it for my transfer experience and my fall semester reflection. I'm going to do another video probably during Vlogmas, or just a day in my life video discussing like the classes that I'm taking semester and what that looks like. But yeah, so I think that's basically it. If you guys have any questions about my transfer experience, or about ODU, or about my fall semester, please ask them. But if you do have questions about GCU, please do not ask me. I do not want to answer any more questions about GCU. I want to leave that part of my life behind me because I'm no longer at GCU. I'm no longer a student there. So please do not ask me about GCU. There are so many GCU YouTube videos out there, so go and watch them. But if you do have questions about GCU, I do have that video that I will link in the cards up there discussing why I left GCU and the pros and cons of GCU. I will have those videos linked up there, and if I don't have them linked, just go to my YouTube channel and look for the videos. They're not that far down, so please look for those before you ask any questions about GCU. But yes, so if you have any other questions that don't involve GCU, you can leave them down below, or you can follow my social media and message me on there, or I always have those linked down below, and I'll also put it on the screen right here. But yeah, so I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I will see you tomorrow for Vlogmas day 9 or day 10. I don't really know. Bye.